evictions will end on the 31st of May, which means that bailiffs can now go into properties and remove tenants, but they have been asked not to evict tenants that are self-isolating or are tested positive for COVID. I'd imagine there will be a huge backlog in this. So bear this in mind, that even bailiffs can get involved. It may take a long time before they can actually come and evict the tenants. Notice periods will change as of the 1st of June. Unfortunately, they are not going back to what they were just yet, but they are being reduced down to 4 months notice. So any notices served as of the 1st of June, both Section 8 and Section 21 will require a 4 months notice period rather than a 6. They have also announced that the earliest date that the notice periods will return to pre-pandemic will be October 2021, which were a 14-day period on a Section 8 and a 2-month period on a Section 21. So it is still really important to make sure you serve a valid notice, because it is still a long wait if you get to court and find out you have to reserve the notice because you haven't correctly done so. You need to have registered the deposit and abided by the Deregulation Act and served all the correct paperwork at the start of the tenancy. And as of the 4th of May, there is a new Section 8 notice, whereby any Section 8 notices served since 4th of May should and must be the new Section 8 notice, which is downloadable from the Gov website. It has amendments to 2 sections that refers to the new breathing space, and that you have to include details of the recently introduced debt scheme. I will say here too that if anyone has served a Section 8 notice within a week before the 4th of May, I'd highly recommend that they retract that notice and reserve the new Section 8 with the breathing space documentation. And this is because you have to give 2 working days for service. And because we have had a bank holiday on the 3rd of May, it could be very possible that your notice wasn't deemed served until the 4th of May, meaning it would be invalid. So it's better to be safe than sorry, because you don't want to get to court 6 months down the line to find out you have incorrectly served and need to reserve. And don't forget, if you have served a notice prior to the 3rd of August last year, but have had no hearing, you need to serve a reactivation notice both to the court and the tenant again. This document can also be found on the Gov website. Other changes to the process include providing information about your tenant's circumstances and how they have been affected to the coronavirus. And if the claim for possession relates to rent arrears, you are required to provide 2 years' worth of rental statements. The government has promised to introduce its renters reform bill in the autumn, which will include details on abolishing Section 21 or no-fault evictions. This should bring in changes to the grounds you can serve a Section 8 notice on, therefore strengthening repossession grounds for landlords. They have a valid clause if they've have a valid clause.